Hey guys, so this is the Headphone Zone X Olivetti Blackbird. Now, in a world where most in-ear monitor manufacturers are trying to give you balanced and neutral sound, you sometimes miss the unsophisticated world of V sound signature in-ear monitors, where you get very lively, sparkly highs and a brain-rattling bass response. Now, the Blackbird claims to give you a V sound signature. I was apprehensive. I used it, and boy, do these deliver. These are by far one of the most fun sounding, unapologetically V sound signature in-ear monitors that I have recently had the pleasure of reviewing. So let's talk about this. So it comes in this medium-sized packaging, nothing too fancy, looks quite slick. Sliding off the outer cover, we get the box inside. Inside the box, we get numerous pairs of different sized silicone ear tips, out of which some are medium bore and the others are wide bore. The co-branded hard carrying case to carry your in-ear monitors and their accessories in. The oxygen-free copper cable with 2-pin connectors on one end and a 3.5mm stereo jack on the other. And of course, you get the Headphone Zone X Olivetti Blackbird in-ear monitors themselves. Now, as for the key specs of the Blackbird, so this is a hybrid in-ear monitor, which means it packs two types of drivers inside. So this contains a single 10mm dynamic driver paired with two balanced armatures, and it has an impedance of 16 ohms. So these would be categorized as low impedance in-ear monitors, which your smartphone should easily be able to drive. But because of the poor quality of the inbuilt DACs that we have in our smartphones, they don't do justice to these in-ear monitors. And what happens is they end up sounding weak, the bass response doesn't sound as convincing, and the volume is not always the maximum that these can produce. That is where a portable DAC comes in, which just makes sure that your in-ear monitors perform to their full potential, get the maximum volume that they can produce, the best audio quality that they can produce without leaving anything in the tank, and you get your money's worth. And as always, the one that I personally use will be linked in the description below. Now, as for the appearance and the build quality, so in terms of the appearance, it's pretty straightforward. So on one of the faceplates, you have Headphone Zone's logo, on the other, you have Olivetti's logo, and it's made of resin all around, no metal involved anywhere, but the resin does feel high quality, no jagged edges anywhere, doesn't pierce into your ears, very ergonomic, and even for long listening sessions, I had zero ear fatigue. So yes, these are compatible for your 5 or 6 hour music listening sessions, no issues there with discomfort, and provided you use the right size ear tip, you're also going to get a very nice seal, giving you a very nice passive noise isolation. Alright, now let's talk about the main criteria, which is the audio quality. Now, as you know, sound is made up of majorly 3 frequencies: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs are the treble response, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids where the vocals are, and the low end or the bass response. Alright, starting with the highs or the treble response. Now, the Blackbird has a dedicated balanced armature that has got one job and one job only: to give you sparkly, detail-rich treble response, and that is exactly what it does. The highs are very lively with good treble extension. Until about 75 to 80% volume, there was no audible sibilance, but anything above that, and depending on the track, it could get a bit unpleasant. The treble response is very well layered, with every instrument in that higher frequency range being distinctly audible. Overall, the treble response is a perfect combination of detail, richness, and technicality. Next up, we have the mid frequencies, where the vocals are. Now, the mid range does favor the upper mids to an extent, and that makes your vocals sound bright, forward, and detailed. However, at peak volume, the vocals do tend to sound a shade hollow and metallic because of that emphasis on the upper mids. So keeping the volume to around 75% at best, that is the sweet spot where you get a good combination of detail, richness, clarity without them sounding hollow. Yet, I really enjoyed the clarity in the vocals, and this was also a good companion for laid-back listening at around 70% volume. Now, instruments in the mid-frequency range were also rendered with a lot of clarity and detail, and they were very well spaced out from one another, and there was no clutter or overlap with the vocals. So overall, barring that emphasis on the upper mids that sometimes make vocals sound a bit metallic at peak volume, the response of the mid-range and the vocals overall was very impressive. And finally, we have the low end or the bass response. Now, the bass is exactly as they claimed, an immensely powerful, tight, and punchy mid-bass slam that will do justice to all your bass-heavy tracks. And to add to that, there was also some consistent sub-low rumble that really resonates in your ears and makes the tracks all the more immersive. The bass is well textured and fast, and regardless of the genre of music you're listening to, it always delivers. So the bass response is exactly what a bass head craves for in an in-ear monitor: that tight, thick, powerful bass that really rattles your brains, and the Blackbird delivers every time. Now, as for the soundstage, it was moderately wide, not the widest that I've heard, but the imaging was impressive with a good representation of the location of instruments in the track, which was very clearly audible. Alright guys, just to summarize, the Headphone Zone X Orivetti Blackbird is a collaboration done just right. Claim something and deliver. Simple, nothing more. They set out to give you a pair of in-ear monitors that gives you your typical V sound signature with a very dynamic and lively sparkly treble response and a very powerful thick bass response that most of us love. So if you're a beginner audiophile who's just getting into the world of in-ear monitors, the Blackbird is a great starting point. Or if you're someone who already owns a budget-friendly pair and you want the next big step, the Blackbird is your one true destination to get that really powerful, unapologetic V sound signature that you're sure to fall in love with. And every track that you listen to is truly going to come alive and make you fall in love with your tracks all over again. So there you have it guys, that was my unbiased review of the Headphone Zone X Orivetti Blackbird. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have any other questions, do hit me up in the comment section below. As always, the link to this and many other in-ear monitors and audio accessories will be placed in the description below, and I would really appreciate if you use those links to make your purchase to help me run this channel so that I can produce more such high quality and helpful content just for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, please do, and I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.